I see. I just need to shut up and trust the process, because here I was 2 chapters ago talking about how I was upset about An and freaking Nansen's engagement or involvement, and this chapter was about them. So I just need to take a step back. Like, I need to stop talking. Clearly Nakaba has a plan, and it is working out, because I honestly love this chapter a lot. Like, at my first read through, I was like really confused because a lot of stuff is going on. But then when I read it again, I'm like, this chapter is actually really dope. Like, this was a great chapter. Four Knights of Apocalypse chapter 34 is very interesting because it does start off with An, Nansen's, and Art's plan to kind of distract the demons, while An and Nansen sneak in and destroy the idol. And now it's really interesting because in the beginning of the chapter, when R tries to go in, he can't. And like, it looked like he was just checking to make sure that he still couldn't go in, and he distracts us from the outside, and we get to find out later. But as I was saying a couple of videos ago, I was just kind of like I was feeling weird about it because it felt like everything always revolves around Donnie and Percival. But this chapter was a big thing for An, or not. Like, some people might not see it as big as it actually is, but in the moments of her and Nansen, sneaking through the village to get to the idol, and she's complaining about Percival and Donnie, and also complaining about sin and all that, and she's talking about how Holy Knight should be cold and like calculated and always choose the best course of action. And Ansem was like, you're kind of just sitting here complaining. And she's like, no, like, I'm not trying to be complaining. I want to use this moment to prove that I can be a leader to you guys, this group. And it's just a callback to that moment when they really all had first teamed up, and she was trying to figure out who should be the leader, and she wanted it to be her. It's like a small character moment for An, that she is still like stuck on this leader thing and wants to prove herself to be a leader. It's like little good moments like these that make me really appreciate like characters, and like her character specifically. But as they're sneaking through the village, they do come across Donnie, who is like screaming out in pain. So then Nansen goes off to like help him, and then as she continues off by herself, she hears Percival getting beat up, so she just tries to tune it out and keep going. But then later on, we do find out that these two events are not what we thought they were, which is kind of the overall theme of this chapter. Things not being the way how we would, normally think it would be. Whereas Donnie just appears to be sick from drinking too much ale, and Percival was just teaching the villagers Gorin his wrestling style after eating. So it really wasn't necessarily as bad as we initially thought it was. And then once Donnie and Nansen's meet back up with Percival, he's telling them how he taught Gorin to everyone, including his friend Don Chalo, or Don Chalomonte, however you say his name. I'm not really for sure. And they're like really confused as to how Percival even knows his name, despite them not being able to understand a word that anyone has ever said in this village. And Percival talks back to this dude in his language, and it's just like,
what the hell is going on?
I was just as shocked as they were. I'm like, why can Percival speak this language? And it either has to be a thing with Percival's character or hero type magic. I'm gonna assume it's Percival's character, because magic affecting this kind of thing, like magic affecting language, would just be such a weird thing. But Percival's gonna be a crazy character. Like, the fact that he can understand all of the languages, or I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. Slow down.
Stop it. Get some help.
Slow down. The fact that he has the potential to understand any language is kind of crazy. It's definitely setting up for Percival to be something insane. Like, and it also goes to, if Percival wasn't as naive as he was, he'd be completely overpowered in just all aspects of the series. So it just really makes me wonder what more is in store for Percival, seeing as he can understand multiple languages, or has the potential to understand multiple languages. And then when it does flash back over to An, she has already set up to destroy the idol, where she's getting her rope and tying it around it, and then her and Sylvan are gonna like pull it down, and gravity is kind of gonna do the rest. Is gonna handle the arrest from there. But this moment was wild because, like, one, I didn't think she'd be able to destroy it alone. Like, I didn't see a way like for her to be able to do that. And two, just her pumping herself up to be able to do it it really does show like this was a really this was a really good character chapter for An, which is like kind of weird because it seems like so oddly placed, but I'm not mad at it though. It's just a really oddly placed chapter to just show like how committed An is to like her goal and to the like group and like for all of that. So the wildest thing is that she actually does it. Like she actually hulks up and pulls this thing off. I mean, Sylvain was helping, but Sylvain's like not. He doesn't appear to be the strongest horse, so I'm going to assume she did more of the work. Like if I had to like measure it out, I'd say it's about 80-20. Like I say, Sylvain probably did 20% of the work while An probably did the other 80. And she actually does pull it down to which she even looked shocked that she even did it because she's like, oh, like I did it, it's actually coming down. But once she does this, the idol does fall down and it cracks and breaks into a bunch of pieces, and then it turns out that all of the villagers aren't ogres or monsters, they're actually demons, which threw me for a loop because I was really expecting ogres or monsters because Seven Deadly Sins, like this whole universe of in Britannia does have like many races and different types of monsters, so it could have easily been ogres or something else, but it actually does turn out to be demons. Specifically, Don Chilo is a red demon, as well as there's a bunch of red and gray demons in this village. I'm not for sure exactly what the elder is. I feel like the elder might be like one of those other kind of demons, like the four-armed one, or maybe something even more different, like maybe even a blue demon, who knows. But the main population of the village is red demons with some gray demons, and it's very interesting because when we see this immediately, it makes, I know for myself, I was like, oh, these villagers are evil, they are demons. But right after that, this is when Ard shows his true form, and he's actually a Chaos Knight, and he says he's going to bring the Hammer of Blood upon the other tribes. Like, so it's like
Somebody lying. Yeah. Now somebody I don't know who.
The villagers were pretending to be demons, and like this Chaos Knight was pretending to be Ard, and like so it makes you think that these demons in this village are not actually bad. It makes you think that they didn't actually do anything wrong, and that Ard, if that even is his real name, was just planning to attack them from the jump, which is so interesting because it's like Annie didn't sense him lying to them when I guess they were trying to make a like plan together, despite Nansen's being suspicious. And this just goes to show like there are ways around An's ability to sense, you know, people's intentions. Like there is a way around it, because he probably was genuinely sincere about trying to take out this village. It was just not for necessarily good reasons. So I definitely don't really think that this village of demons is bad. I just think that they're obviously hiding their appearance, you know, because people would be afraid of them or because people would attack them, such as the Chaos Knights are just random people, because people do fear demons in general. And the one like side theory is that what if when Donnie was sick from what he was drinking, like the ale, what if the ale is actually like some type of demon's blood? Because if you remember way back in the first season of Seven Deadly Sins, the new age of like Holy Knights were drinking demon's blood to get more power. So what if this is like a like unintentional power boost for Donnie because he consumed demon's blood and he's actually fine? Now I do recall that not going very well for everybody in the end, but what if there's something different about it? It's just kind of something, a side thing to think about that could be interesting. But aside from that, it also makes me wonder what's going on with the Elder and Sin, because like it definitely makes you think that the Elder didn't necessarily do anything bad to Sin, that Sin's probably actually just asleep, and that Sin just knew that they were demons or was able to figure out that they were demons. And that's probably also why the Elder was so interested in the Coffin of Eternal Darkness, or at least the key piece to it, because he probably remembered it or recognized it, because a lot of the other demons in this village probably aren't that old, or they probably just aren't that smart, because as we know, like red and gray demons aren't necessarily the most intelligent demons. Like they're kind of just big and strong and powerful, and that's kind of it. It's just crazy because there's so much that you could draw from this chapter, because Percival was wrestling them. So like, does this mean that Percival's physical strength is somewhere around that of a red demon, or is their strength just a little bit weaker because they weren't in their full-size form? There's just a whole lot to go off of. I really did enjoy this chapter. I give this chapter like an 8.5, because I like this chapter a lot. It just had a lot of good character moments for An. The stuff with Percival unlocking more of his abilities, or not unlocking, but like showing off more of his abilities. The whole like villages demons, but then the hunter was a Chaos Knight. It's just, this was a great chapter. This was a great chapter. Now definitely next chapter we're going to be getting into probably a fight between everybody and the Chaos Knight. Definitely am very interested to see how that goes, especially with Percival maybe getting off to showcase his sword skills. Very interested for that. That's probably like the thing I'm most excited for next chapter. So let me know how you guys are feeling about the chapter. I'm very curious to know like how you guys feel about the stuff with like An. How do you guys feel about Percival being able to speak the language of the demons, and just kind of just the overall chapter in general. I am very curious to know what you guys think about it. Aside from that, I don't know if you guys seen it or not, but there was a 7 Deadly Sins movie that came out over the weekend, Cursed by Light. You should definitely check it out. The movie was phenomenal. I did do a review on it. In case you did see the movie, make sure you check that out and let me know how you guys were feeling about that. Aside from that, make sure you guys like the video as well as subscribe to the channel for more content. I do appreciate all of the support. You guys have been amazing as of lately, as I really try to remind you guys. I really do appreciate all you guys. Like, seriously, I really do. So enjoy the rest of you guys' day, and I will see you all in my next video.